This episode is brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration, a proud supporter of the Inside Running podcast. It keeps us fueled on our long runs and races. Are you training for your next big race and still guessing your nutrition? Inside Running Podcast listeners, 2026, this is the year you stop winging it. Precision Fuel and Hydration is the answer. Their free online planner helps you nail your sodium and carb intake so you don't fade when it matters most. Visit precisionhydration.com, and while you're there, place your first order and get 15% off when you use the code IRP2026. Welcome to episode number 441 of the Inside Running Podcast. A massive episode coming at you this week, and thank you for joining us. We got all the Australian Championships to chat about. Drama, amazing performances, primetime viewing. Everyone in my local town's talking about it, boys. This free-to-air stuff, Saturday, Friday, Sunday Arvo. It's good for the sport, but we'll get into all of that. Croaks is going to recap a race he was in action in Canberra. Moose will be talking about some stuff as well, I'm sure. All the usual segments. Listen to question, Moose on the loose. Going to start counting down some songs tonight as well, boys. And listen to question. Welcome to my co-host. He was fourth across the line on the weekend, the 2:17 marathoner, Bradley Croker. How you going this week?
Good, Brady. Yes, fair bit happened over the weekend. I don't reckon as much as has happened at a national championship as what we saw on the weekend. Like, it had everything.
So good. I can't wait to talk about it. I know there's people messaging us like, hey, can't wait to hear this week's show. So we're trying to record a bit earlier this week as well, Monday during the day. So, can't wait to unpack it all with you boys. Julian Spence is our other co-host. He's a 2:14 marathoner. I think he's gone from Canberra to Anglesea in the first half of this day. How are you, Moose?
Good. Yep, did that. Straight into dad life. Got home. Pia needs... get handed the babies, get handed Pia. Pia starts dragging me around the house. But got out for a jog just then, which was nice.
We both left Canberra today, Moose.
Yeah, where are you, Croaks?
I'm down the coast.
Okay.
Difference is you're on holiday.
Do you this whole down the coast thing, is it actually like a town? Like, do people just say down the coast when you live in Canberra?
Most people say down the coast, and they generally refer to sort of somewhere between, Bega and, Jervis Bay sort of thing. So it's a fair stretch, but we're at Malure Bay, just south of Bateman's Bay.
Okay.
Brady, I've heard this now. I'm across down the coast. It's a very, very common thing to hear. Very Canberra thing, yeah. What are you doing this weekend? Down the coast.
Yeah, like in Victoria, you'd say you're heading to Torquay or you're going to Anglesea. You'd name the town, wouldn't you? You wouldn't just say I'm going down the coast.
Yeah, it's a fair stretch, the coast, but it's south coast of New South Wales.
Is it because when you're in Canberra, it's kind of like the only place you can go?
Yeah, well, I guess there's two ways. Well, yeah, there's probably three ways down. You either come out at Jervis Bay, which is the north side, come down to Bateman's Bay, which is the middle, and then there's another way down closer to Cooma Way that brings you out down at Bega. So they're the three ways of getting to the coast, and that's pretty much the range of where people go to when they say down the coast.
Yeah, but no one's going inland, are they? To what towns are in there? Goulburn? What else is in that area? Gundagai? No one's going holidaying from Canberra inland to Australia.
No, if they go inland, it's generally up to Jindabyne, up to the Snowy Mountains.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, bit of geography for you to start the show. Let's kick things off with you, Croaks. Back on the start line. Good to see. Weather wasn't great, was it? A bit windy, a bit isolated out there?
Weather was actually all right. It was more just the course and, pretty much ran solo for the whole thing. But, I was happy with the run. But I'll kick off with Monday. So just did an hour, 4:25s. Tuesday, I still kept my double run in. So I did 8K in the morning and then track session. I trained a little bit earlier than the group just because Zach's now moved to Orange. So I don't really have anybody that I share reps with. And so I thought with daylight saving ending, I thought, well, why don't I just go to the track like a little bit earlier so that the track's less busy. I get it done before it gets dark, and then I can do my cool down with the group when they warm up. So so I session was 1600 meters, 90 seconds recovery, then two 1K reps, 90 seconds recovery between them, then two 800s with 2 minutes recovery between, and then five 200s off a 200 jog. So I ran the 1600 in 5:12. K reps were 3:07 and 3:05, and the 800s were 2:21 and 2:20. And then the 200s were between 32 and 33 seconds off a 200 jog in about a minute. So felt fairly good. I've never done a session like this. I always find in the past, like with my taper sessions, I probably run them too fast and probably don't have enough recovery. So by the end of them, you actually feel like you've worked way harder than you should race week. So I kept the intensity fairly high, but the recoveries were really generous. So I actually never felt like I was, like at the end of the session, I'm like, I'm not spent sort of thing. So that was the one session for the week. I then did just an hour on Wednesday, plus a shortened gym session, 40 or just over 10K on Thursday. And then Friday, I just jumped on the treadmill for 35 minutes, just at 12.5K an hour at 4:48. And then, Saturday morning, got up super early because, I had a nomeo. So I had to have that 3 hours before the start. So the race start was 7. So I was up at 4. And look, I don't mind the taste of nomeo, but having it at 4 a.m., it hits a bit different than 4 p.m. before a track race. So I had that, chilled out for a bit, and then, got down probably about an hour before the race, warm up, just did like 15 minutes, changed shoes, and then I did 3 1-minute reps with sort of a minute recovery. I just wanted to try something different with warm-ups, because I find it's taking me ages to feel good in sessions and also races. And so I thought, well, rather than just doing like a 15, 20-minute warm-up and some 80-meter strides, I thought, well, if I do 3 by 1 minute reps, like obviously not all out, sort of controlled, maybe that primes the system a little bit more, and I feel a bit better when the gun goes, which wasn't really the case. Like the gun went, it's a sort of gradual downhill for the first kilometer, ran that in 3:06, and I'm like, oh, this feels okay, but it should because it's downhill. But even by that stage, I'm sort of off the back of a main group of 4. And then in the second K, that group basically clears out, and I'm left with Frosty, Greg Frost. And I looked down probably halfway into that second kilometer, and pace for that lap was like, well, probably just under 3:20s, and I'm like, oh, like I feel like this is 10K effort, but the pace is not what I was expecting. So I didn't panic. I'm just like, well, there's no point forcing it because I feel like this is sort of 10K effort. So, and at that stage, you're like, well, I'm not really racing for the podium anymore. Four guys are up the road. So I ran with Frosty till close to the turnaround, which was just before 4K, dropped him. And then we start climbing. It's about a 400-meter climb. Came out of that. And then my watch beeped at 5K, and obviously my watch beeped before I got to the 5K marker and the timing mat. And I saw 16:06. I was like, well, it's not too bad. Like I thought, I've run this course before, and I'm like, well, on a dead flat course, I reckon I'm in somewhere between 31 and 31:30 shape. So add a minute for this course, and I'm like, well, it's sort of on par with where I should be. Caught the 4th place guy. He'd fallen off at that point. And then the 6K, I started to actually feel really good. Like effort was sort of the same, but just felt like I was moving better. And then I looked down, the next K was like a 3:06. I'm like, whoa, we're sort of rolling here. And then I felt just so strong between like 6K and 8K. And like if I look at the splits, so on the mat, I went through halfway in 16:16. And then like the 6K was 3:06. The 7K was 3:09. But then we start climbing again. So the 8th K was 3:10, but like gradient pace of 3:05. And it was probably at this point where I'm like, okay, I'm starting to work pretty hard now. I still feel strong enough, but what am I actually like running hard for now? Like 5th place is 40 seconds behind me. I'm no chance of third. But I sort of looked at the watch and I started doing some maths, and I'm like, well, if I get up this climb and don't lose too much time, I can sort of bomb the last K and I might be able to get under 32 minutes. So that was really the only thing that kept me like really pushing, because I've pretty much ran the last 6K just by myself, like just solid tempo effort. But I was really strong up that hill, because we climb about 35 meters in just over a K and a half. And that's from like 7.5K to pretty much 9K. And I got up that hill fairly well, just got my breath back a little bit, and then, bombed the last K and ran the last K in 3 minutes. So I got in just under 32 minutes, so 31:59. And like had a really good sprint, turned the last corner. It was probably about 300 meters to the finish line. And I was actually like running like quick for me. Like my last 14 seconds here was like 2:38 pace. So I had a bit left in the tank. So I'm happy with that, considering, I've run it before. I know it's not a super quick course. I was by myself for most of it. I was happy with that.
Your prediction was spot on, that wasn't it? That's what you were kind of thinking with this course?
And that's why I'm sort of happy that they changed the course back to the course that I've done 10 years ago, because I have some data around it in terms of like, okay, well, I ran this and then I went to Sydney 10 a month later and ran that. So, I'd like to think that, if I was to go and run a dead flat course now, I'd be somewhere in that 31 to 31:30.
Yeah, good.
Based on the weekend.
Record territory, Moose, 31:20.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sydney 10. People were slagging you off in my DMs, Croaks, and I'm like, no, don't judge him on this 31:58. Wait until Sydney 10. This is just a hit out for this fella.
That's the problem though now. Like, people just look at like race times and go, oh yeah, he ran 32 minutes. Like, they don't take in like
recap.
It's not like we was talking about last week in Australia. Like, we don't have that many opportunities. Like, we don't have a Seville, a Barcelona, or a Valencia where it's just dead flat and you've got 50 people around you. Like, as I said, I pretty much ran this whole 10K by myself. But these records, it's like Mona ran 30:07 as a 45.
We've had this chat, Crocs. We don't care. We just want to get you.
It's not 31:20.
You've broken one.
Even Jimmy Barker. So Jimmy Barker's like 49. He ran Sydney 10 last year in 31:05. So I don't know what this 31:20 record is. It's not
31:20. It's in the books. It's on the website. It's a record.
I know 2:45 to 49s that have run faster than that.
Yeah, but that's what we're going of. They go well on social media, these promos too. The engagement goes through the roof. People commenting. He's the most popular runner in Australia, isn't he, Moose, this bloke?
Croaks.
Yeah.
A lot of chat in Canberra about him. A lot of chat about this in the record on Friday. Had heaps of people in the store talking about the record.
I was never running 31:20 like on that course on Saturday.
With that attitude, you won't, Brad.
I was happy. So I was pretty tired though, like just getting up early, and then Sunday got out to hand out some drinks early on, and then just ran with Jack sort of around the race precinct. So I did just over 25K at 4:18. So it was a week of 114K. And I'm sort of tired. Like, I pulled up reasonably well, like a little bit of DOMs in my quads and calves, but nothing like I certainly wasn't hobbling out of bed on Sunday, but I'm just tired. Just, the early start Saturday, the early start Sunday, and then obviously racing, and then just getting packed up to sort of come down the coast. So looking forward to just a few easy days down here before getting back into the next block of training.
Yeah. So what do you got, 2 weeks between the races?
Sydney. So that's another good thing is back 10 years ago, Canberra Marathon used to be now, and then Sydney 10 used to be first weekend in May, whereas it's like the third weekend in May. So it's the 17th of May. So I've got a month or so.
Yeah, so you can really absorb this. Have a little down period and then chuck another 3-week block on, go again.
Yeah.
Good signs. NordVPN has partnered with the Inside Running Podcast to offer you an amazing discount. Head over to nordvpn.com/inside running to get a huge discount off your NordVPN plan. plus 4 additional months on top of that. Think of NordVPN as your personal bodyguard for your online activity. It encrypts your internet traffic, shielding your personal information from those prying eyes and online criminals with state-of-the-art encryption. It can help you book flights and hotels for your next race, as well as when you're over there, you can connect to a NordVPN server in your home country and safely enjoy the content as if you never left. Wherever you travel, it's perfect if you want to follow local Aussie sport. With NordVPN, you can access all your streaming services from back home. Don't forget, there is literally no risk with your 30-day money-back guarantee. Give it a try, and if you like it, great. If you don't, they'll issue a full refund, and you can pretend the entire situation never even happened. Check out our link, nordvpn.com/inside running, to get your subscription started today. You can also find the information in the episode description and the link in our social media bio. Moose, what have you been doing?
Oh, I'm jogging again. So you see a bit more on Strava. I was up in Canberra. Got to jog some Ks in Canberra, which I haven't been able to do before, like properly. I didn't quite get out to the long run on Sunday morning, Croaks. Sorry, I didn't get to meet. You didn't actually come past us at all.
No, because I was handing out drinks to the marathoners, and because I was coming from north side, and that's the thing, with Canberra Marathon changed this year because they're doing all this construction over Commonwealth Avenue Bridge for light rail. So it was a sort of tricky course to get around compared to previous years. So I was, just on the north side handing bottles out at sort of 10K or close to 10K and 20K. But I'll tell you what, like doing my long run yesterday around the lake, I don't know how people do long runs around bike paths like week in, week out. Like I hated it. Absolutely hated it. Although there's like a buzz of an event going on, I'm like, just give me some dirt and bush. Like I really missed Mulligans yesterday.
He would have hated it so much.
I'm with you on that one.
The map freaked me out when I saw your long run and it wasn't in Mulligans. You're used to this on Strava.
You're constantly dodging people and it's not fun.
Yeah, I'm with you. I just don't like the monotonous, like the lack of view. You don't feel like you're in nature as much.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're doing a workout, it's totally different.
Yeah. The crunch of the gravel under your feet, just so good.
Yeah, a long run's a different story. I went for a ride on Monday morning, and then went for 23 minutes on Tuesday. On Wednesday, another bike ride. Thursday, I ran after work up in Canberra. So I ran around Fishwick. I felt fairly good here. This was 30 minutes after work. Felt like I had a bit more pop in my step. Just felt like I could get paces. The paces came a little easier. So it was 4:58. By no means fast, but it just felt a little smoother. And then the next morning didn't feel very smooth. So I'm running. This was my first like back-to-back days. So I ran 30 minutes and then 20 minutes the next day and jogged from the store again. I'm pretty done with that. That it's Fishwick's like this industrial area, and there's only a certain amount of like little loops you can do in there. Once the runs get longer, I'll be able to run out of Fishwick and then out and back or whatever, or maybe a bigger loop. But at the moment, it's just staying in there. Then had a day off. And then last night after the race, we went out in the morning, and then then I worked. And so Chris went for a mountain bike. I jumped in the car and ran a bit of Majura. So parked in this little trailhead car park. It's pretty cool. Then you cross this the parkway, which is the way to get up to Croaks' house, everybody. If you want to get to Croaks' house, I'll send the address later, but this is the way that I went. But it's got this bike park it would be good for workouts. You ever done workouts on that, Croaks?
No.
Super long, super straight. Gets a bit windy there, but I was thinking this could be a good marathon bike path.
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that. So before the parkway was officially like open to traffic, they had a fun run on the course, but it started at the far north side. It was run by Lifeline. So I did the 10K there, and it was it's this gradual downhill. So gradual downhill for 5K and then turn and gradual 5K for uphill. And then I reckon it was the week after that was open to traffic.
Yeah.
So that's probably the one reason why I'd struggle to do workouts there is because it sort of looks flat, but if you're actually running it, it's gradual uphill, gradual downhill.
Yeah, I did actually feel that. And there's no better time to feel a certain gradient than when you're super unfit. But I did a bit of trails at the start. And then after about like 15 minutes of that, I just started to feel like I was so weak and I didn't have the strength to run over that type of terrain. They're like mountain bike tracks in there. So I popped out and just ran along this cycleway out and back for a while. So boring. Like, even if it was 10 minutes out, 10 minutes back, I was trying to get my phone to play something on, like I didn't have my headphones, but it was too windy to hear it. So I just called home, did a what do you call it? Video call back home, a FaceTime, just to keep me occupied because, yeah, I was insanely bored on this cycleway. Couldn't believe that I forgot my headphones. I was wondering, I reckon you go through phases, though, with needing to listen to something when you're running. And initially, I feel like I need something when I get out there because it's kind of uncomfortable and unpleasant. And then you go through a phase when you get a bit of fitness and you just really enjoy the running aspect and you don't feel like you need anything. And then your mileage is high enough where it's a little monotonous and you need to put something back in your ears again. I reckon it's a bit of a roller coaster of needing content when you run. And I'm still in I need content. So, yeah,
you've been listening to too much stuff when you like it's raining and you don't want to take your headphones and get wet, and then you can just like it almost surprises you that you can hear your feet hitting the ground. And you start paying attention to that. You're like, geez, I'm hitting the ground pretty loud. Have I always been hitting the ground? Like, I've got to start turning my music down when I'm actually running because I do heaps of stuff, or pretty much everything solo. So I'm, getting probably way too reliant on having something in my ears.
Yeah. Oh, I'm thinking too much about my running right now. Because it's, I don't run enough for it to feel natural. So every footstep, I'm like, oh, am I hitting the ground right? Is my knee coming high enough? What's my back lift like? How's my arm swing? Am I leaning forward enough? So I'm overthinking everything.
Wouldn't you also like think way too much about shoes?
A little bit.
You're like, oh, I can feel this bit. Like, it must do your head in. Well, not do your head in, but you must never be able to fully relax. Like, people ask me shoe questions. I'm like, I don't know. Feels good to me. But I can imagine every time you go for a run, you're like, heel cuffs here, this is here, the tongue's loose, and the gizzard or whatever it's called. What's it called? Is there something called the gizzard on a shoe?
The gusset.
The gusset's midsole. Like, all these words, Croaks, just must be going. You know that meme when there's all that mats going through that lady's head?
The gizzard.
That's what Moose must
sounds
be like.
Sounds like an animal.
Yeah, I know.
Isn't the King Gizzard? King Gizzard.
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Isn't that the band? Something like that.
They're from down here. They sponsor the local footy club.
Do they? How good's that? A band sponsors the footy club.
Yeah. I do think about those things, actually. But it's a really difficult thing to be able to articulate like things about a shoe to someone else. Like, you know how you're saying, oh, I don't really know how to explain things with shoes. It's really difficult. It's not an easy thing to do because every footstep you might feel something slightly different. And there's not a lot of words to describe. Like, I reckon there's feelings we get in shoes where there's no words to describe it properly. And so you find yourself stumbling around a little bit.
And there's also a lot of variables. Like some days you go out and run in a pair of shoes and it'd be like, this shoe feels terrible. And then you go out the next day, you're like, oh, this shoe feels really good. So like, it's also based on how you're personally like probably moving on the day and how fresh you are and how you're hitting the ground.
Yeah. Have you worn the light spray one from On yet, Croaks? Thank you to On for sending that through.
No, I haven't yet.
That looks so good. I saw your video on it, Moose, but it's just like, how have we come to this stage with the technology?
Yeah.
I almost want to just put it away and just like show Hudson in 15 years.
Well, you're the first one. You're one of the first to get them now because they're still not released yet.
Oh, when do they go on retail?
The 16th.
Oh, okay.
And they're only retail for a month. So if you're like hanging out to get them, ain't going to happen. They're for 1 month and then they're gone.
That's it. Every individual one's made by that robot.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It's amazing, really.
That is.
Like it's crazy technology, and how light that shoe feels compared to the one with the laces. Do you have those ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, like put them on together. It's unbelievable. It feels like a different shoe because it weighs, in my size, 50 grams less. Like I weighed them both. I'm like, whoa, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I thought the scales were out.
How do you reckon the light spray one will go on trails, given there's no laces to lock you in?
It's not a trail shoe, and it's not a dirt road shoe. It's not a it's not a shoe for hills, I don't reckon. It's a shoe for running flat concrete. But it feels like a speedier, much faster shoe than the laced one does.
Yeah.
Is it going to become a casual shoe? Like, is it going to become cool like that? Should I roll around the Boston Expo in it next week?
You could.
Should I take it? Good flex?
You should do that. I'm not sure if I would think you were cool or not. It'd be like someone walking around, like remember Berlin 2018 when people are rolling around the expos in Vaporflies?
Yeah, but this isn't a performance shoe. Like, it's still going to be good to walk in. And
no, but it's still like it's still like showing off. Like, hey, look what I've got, and I'm just walking around an expo in it.
Yeah, that's. I'd do it. I reckon it'd suit your personality.
Well played. Have you finished your week?
Yep.
Actually, we should just mention, what is it? Is it the Cloud Monster or the Hyper light spray?
It's the Cloud Monster. It's the light. They gave us a very strict naming of it. It's the light spray Cloud Monster 3 Hyper.
Okay.
Or maybe Hyper and 3 around the other way. I'll have
You've got all the main words in there.
Yeah, but they wanted the order right.
Okay. Hopefully Moose has nailed that for you. I'll take you through this week, boys. Taper week, first of 2 weeks easy going into the marathon. 60 minutes easy on the Monday, 4:44 pace. Tuesday, did a workout, met up with Oli Hoare. He was back in town visiting family. He's from down your way now, Moose. Mm-hmm. I did 20 by 75 seconds. This is like what we do up here when we don't have track access. So just program it into the watch, off 30 seconds. Average probably like 3:01, maybe 3-minute K pace. Never sure how accurate it is over 75 seconds, but beautiful morning. This felt good. Felt good just to run fast and knowing that it's for 75 seconds. So, that was a nice workout to do. Did 7K in the afternoon at 4:30s. Wednesday, another beautiful morning. Did an easy hour with Ryan. He was in town. Same thing. We've got all these people who are like, I could run with every day of the week, but they all move away. And then they come back for Easter holidays and I get to run with people. So I don't know what that says about the town that everyone moves.
Oh, well, there's only so much you can do there, right?
We've all got the retirees back here.
Yeah, from the work perspective, how many careers are there to be had in Echuca?
Well, Ryan's a teacher, so he could work here. But, Toby's an engineer, I think. He's just been – are they doing something to the big stadium down there in Geelong?
Like work?
Yeah, he was saying he signed off on some big project the other day. I thought he said GMHBA.
I reckon it finished. I thought they fixed that up.
Maybe it was a hospital or something. I don't know. Yeah, but he wouldn't be able to do what he does up here.
Yeah.
Thursday, did 74 minutes in the morning. Not much to report there. Met up with Ryan again. Friday, did 6 by 6 minutes at 3:15 pace, off 2 minutes, like really slow jog between. 20k an hour wind, fellas, and I'm on straight roads. Do you I was under the instructions like to do 3:15k pace, and then I'm like, I reckon I can just do easy ones with a tailwind.
From who?
And then work a bit harder.
Who gave you the instructions?
Jordo flicked me through a few messages like, try this in the next couple of weeks before Boston.
See, Moosey's just trying to let that one just slide through. It's like been coaching myself.
It was very loose. We're just doing some back and forth. And he's like, I reckon try this in the week before the taper week, which was good.
Good. You got a coach then. Signed on.
4 dot points, and this was the only one I paid any attention to.
Has he coached you before?
No,
Who
no,
did
no.
you drop last time?
We are just friends.
You got rid of someone last time. Who was that?
Who? Nah, this was just Jordo. We're just spitting a couple of workouts around. 6 by 6 minutes. Everyone does it. But anyway, what would you do in this similar situation?
I would
slow
try
one and fast one. Like, do you bang it when you've got the tailwind and run like a 305?
I'd try and find a 6-minute loop rather than
yeah,
have
I
6
kinda did
minutes
that.
straight into Because I
Yeah.
don't know. I feel like 3 minutes. Like 3 minutes is okay when you're going headwind one way, tailwind the other, but 6 minutes, a long time. I'd try and find a lap of the block.
Yeah. And it's also a long time to do the one with the tailwind because you're cruising. You're like, well, I get this one for free. I can hit 315s easy here. But then the way back up, that's why Medio Pace is good with the lap function now, how you can look at your laps afterwards. Because the ones I was doing into the headwind were like, I think I hit 313, but then it said like 307. So you're like, it's a significant difference. But anyway.
To answer your question, like, what was the purpose of the workout? Is this to hit threshold effort? Is it to get your legs ready for a certain pace? Like, there'll be a purpose to the workout with a goal to come of it, and then if you understand that, then you can decide, like, okay, I want to hit, like, mechanically, I want to hit 315s.
Or do you just look at heart rate?
Well, it depends on the purpose.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't know the purpose, you don't know how to adjust the workout.
Well, what was the reasoning for this session? What did Jordo say? Why should you do this session?
Nah, didn't get any reasons. It'd just be to work a bit quicker than like marathon pace next week, I feel, which would also like hit the threshold box. But I'm thinking some of my tailwind ones I would have had the heart rate wouldn't have hit threshold, and the headwind ones I was probably working harder. But anyway, it was good. Probably the best workout I've done in the last 6 months. This one, like I was happy with that. I could hit 315s into a pretty decent wind. I just mechanically felt good. This was a good workout. Saturday did 65 minutes at 4:45 pace, and then Sunday 90 minutes 4:27s. Felt like garbage. You know that long run the week before when you're just like, this is doing nothing. You're like, this is just ticking the legs over. 90 minutes feels like 2.5 hours. You think it's going to feel easy. It's like, I might just pep along running 4:05s today, but you're like, fucking 4:30s feels like a struggle.
So my question here,
I think I had a femur stressy in for the second half of my run. I'm like, geez, my glutes sore. Maybe I got a femur stressy.
Why are you doing 90 minutes easy a week before the race? Like, what purpose does that serve at all?
Good question. Just because I've always done it. It's just
it doesn't serve any question.
90 minutes.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's a week before a long run. You're not going to feel benefit from doing a long run. If anything, that just makes you tired. Jogging 90 minutes 1 week out from a race, to me, is silly. Like,
I've got 8 days. I'm a Monday race, but yes, same point.
Same shit. You should be doing a workout a week before the race. Like, and the workout should be race pace stuff. And like, maybe it's still.
Geez, you wouldn't want to do too big a reps though.
You got to, like, at least it serves some sort of higher purpose. Like, you can get some race pace in, find rhythm, like have another look at heart rate stuff at race pace. I just don't see a slow, easy run being beneficial.
But I also value routine. And so, like, some of my athletes will do race pace tempo stuff on the Friday. So 9 days out from the race, and then they'll do a shortened long run, like 90 minutes, because it's still just the routine. You know, they often talk about keeping the routine.
Yeah, well, you've got a race on a Sunday. Are you keeping the routine or doing a threshold on the Friday?
But most athletes don't do. Well, my athletes certainly don't do marathon specific long runs every Sunday.
No, but it's not.
Your
reasoning would be that, well, if you've got a marathon, then a marathon's on a Sunday, you should be doing marathon specific stuff every Sunday.
It doesn't have to be marathon specific. I'm just saying that running easy for 90 minutes 1 week out from a race, to me, doesn't make a lot of sense. That's like a base building aerobic type workout. Like, I don't think you need to keep routine if it hinders the race. That's my opinion.
I would just see like it as being just aerobic, like just you're not gaining anything, but you're just maintaining it. And 90 minutes is not that long when you've been doing 2.5 hours. Like
so two days before they've got workout, right? Would that be a total of 80 minutes, 90 minutes?
No, not even that long. Like 2x5K at marathon pace.
10, so 18K.
Yeah, with warm up
plus
and
a bit.
down.
So maybe 19, 20K. And then 2 days later, you're running 20K. Easy. So, it's just not something that I don't think it. Do you want to know what Ali's doing?
Yeah, what would you give Ali a week out? Because I'd argue that 90 minutes easy run, like I think my heart rate was like 127 or something, and I haven't had a huge workout on the Friday. I've only done 36 minutes worth of work. I'm saying that's easier than doing 3x4K at marathon pace or whatever. What's the sample workout you're going to give? The example.
So 8 days, 30 minutes jog, 20 minutes at. I'll do 20 minutes at the higher end of her marathon range, 10 minutes at the lower end of her marathon range, 5 minutes slightly quicker, wearing a heart rate monitor to assess what changes through it as she changes gears to get a better gauge on what race pace what sort of race pace it might be realistic. That's
so she nearly hit 10K, so like 10K around marathon pace.
Effort. Yeah, be about that.
Still pretty big.
Yeah.
I don't mind combining it, 40 minutes easy and then do a 20-minute at marathon pace, chuck another 10, 15 minutes cool down on there.
Yeah, I mean,
it's more than one way to skin a cat.
Exactly. There is, but I just that's my opinion. You can have, everyone responds differently too. And we all have different philosophies. Like, we can have a conversation without someone being right.
Yeah,
exactly.
No right, everyone's
right. Maybe Rob Wilson would be a sub 2 hour 30 marathoner if I wasn't giving him 90 minutes the week before.
Yeah. No one's right except I'm a little bit closer to being right.
See how Ali goes.
We put a bit of pressure on Ellie now.
Ali's been sick, mate. Ali's been sick. She's fallen over.
Yesterday.
Bloody shingles.
She ran like a 1:14 at marathon pace for the half marathon.
She was by herself too, pretty solid. Let's not pump Ali up right now.
Bike parts. What's the course record for Ballarat?
Oh, has anyone gone under 2:30? I don't think so. I don't think anyone's gone under 2:30 though.
She's going to win so much cash in that race.
She hasn't won anything yet.
Yeah,
but if settle your ass down here, you're doing the Jimmy Whelan tour.
What about Jeff Risley? It's going to be the official pacemaker. Put his hand up, said, "I'll get you there, Ali."
You reckon he'll make it 10K?
Yeah, he'll be right.
Race records are underlined 2:33.55. Kate Mason.
What's the cash bonus there? 3,000?
Not sure.
Fuck off, 3,000. Surely.
I think I worked out it'd be a $10,000 day for her.
This is not good. This is not a good conversation to be having.
Hey, before I finish my week, I do have a question for you. There's one, I run past this spot most Sundays, and you'll know what the location is because there's rubbish everywhere. Every Sunday morning, rubbish everywhere. You know what I'm talking about?
What do you mean?
Just think of every regional, every town's got one of these.
Oh, yeah,
Sunday
absolutely.
Morning,
I know that.
Shit everywhere.
Yep. I'm picturing my spot right now.
Yeah, McDonald's. Is that what you're thinking? Is it the responsibility of McDonald's to clean up? I know when the customers leave, you can't control what they're going to do, but you're serving drunk people all night, and there's just rubbish. Like the whole block around McDonald's on a Sunday morning, shit everywhere. They should send someone out there to clean up the streets before they clock on. It's a bad look. I reckon if you go past every McDonald's you go past every McDonald's in Australia on a Sunday morning, it looks the same.
We ain't got a McDonald's where
I don't see Macca's on a Sunday morning because
it's disgusting.
I'm straight out my door into the bush.
We're not in the big smoke like you, mate.
All the shops, it shows where I'm running, doesn't it? I should be out the bush. I started early. I was in the dark, so I had to stick to the streets. But it's all the shops nearby, their doorways full of fucking Big Mac wrappers.
I reckon you'll find the really good McDonald's do clean up. you know how you'll go into some Maccas and it's like a whole different level of Maccas, and then there's some that are sort of bare minimum. Like they'd be the ones. What is it like? How would you rate the Echuca Maccas compared to others?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends on the franchise owner.
Yeah.
He's got
And
Echuca,
that's what-
Moama, and Deniliquin up the road.
I think that's what it would come down to. What sort of culture does the boss set for his workplace?
But is it his responsibility to keep
Well,
there's a building 5 doors down getting littered, but it's not actually on their property.
Yeah,
It's just their product.
It's blowing out of their property.
It's not a good look anyway.
Back onto Ballarat, Brady, you're right. She could win $9,500 if she wins the race and runs under 2:27:30.
Yeah, and appearance fees plus stuff from New Balance. Be $15,000 a day.
Cut her
Round it up to
Patreon feed
15.
after this. She doesn't need to be listening to this shit. There's nothing worse than hearing this sort of stuff before a race about how much you're going to win before you've won anything. The worst type of.
Just tell her to skip from 35 to 40 minutes.
Is that from your experience, Moose, where you went to a local fun run around Albury, thought you were going to clean up, and then you saw rogues on the start line and you towed you up, took your prize money?
Yep, very embarrassing. That's like it's kind of like Peyton Craig being 5 minutes out, 5 meters out from making a final, and
we'll get to that.
Yeah,
we'll get to that. That was real bad. Let's thank some Patreon supporters. Croaks, kick things off for me.
I got Imi Briscoe. I believe Imi's from the UK but has spent some time living in Australia. Runs for the Clapham Chasers and has PBs of 36.02 for 10K, which was at last year's Fulham 10K, 77.34 at the Great Eastern Half Marathon, and 2:49 at last year's Ballarat Marathon, where she was 8th female. She works for, I believe, Feedzai, which is a global leader in AI-driven financial crime prevention. So thank you for your support, Imi.
What do you reckon she does there?
Yeah, what does she do there, Crooks?
Don't know.
Do you
maybe
think it'd be like face recognition and stuff?
IT, like design, like, I don't know, software development,
Maybe she's in marketing.
Maybe
but how do they use? No, I more mean how do they use the AI to fight crime? Financial crime prevention.
I don't know, Brady.
It'd be stuff like two-factor authentication, stuff like that, wouldn't it?
Oh,
when they send the codes to your phone before
let's
you
not
can
talk
log in.
about AI. Do you know what?
You go first, Moose. But I need to almost get off Facebook because the amount of shit that pops up, I literally do not know what is real and what is fake anymore. Like unless it's a friend posting photos of their holiday, I really don't know what's real. like all this moon stuff that I've basically been bombarded with this week. It's like
that's real.
No, some of the footage though is just AI.
Yeah, Clousey was on the UK Monthly today saying he's been getting smashed by it too. I think it was him. No, maybe it was Aaron Scott. One of them was saying all they're getting in their algorithm is the moon stuff.
Yeah, but so much of it's just AI generated. And I'm just like, what does the world come to where people are actually putting up fake shit?
What's your thoughts on the world being run by lizards? They were talking about that as well.
Probably a good episode to skip for the listeners.
They went on some random topics today.
Hope we're not paying them for that.
No, it was just a quick 20-second thing. Yeah, I haven't heard much about that recently. Moose, who are you thinking?
I got Rob Burton. He lives on the sunny coast. According to Strava, he's run 2021 at the Berwick Park Run. He appears to be a regular at the Golden Beach Park Run, and I think he works for the NBL as a digital content creator and previously worked for the North Melbourne Footy Club. Ooh. Digital content creator. A few of those in the world now. Rob gets paid for it though. Doesn't just, it's not like his ambition to be a paid digital content creator. He actually does it.
Thank you, Rob, for your support. I'm going to thank Josh Justin from Melbourne. He's run 39.23 at the 2023 Maribyrnong River Run, 85 minutes at the 2022 Geelong Half Marathon, and 3:12 at the 2024 Melbourne Marathon. where he got a photo with Jen Gregson and Izzy Bat Doyle. He's a dad to 2 girls and has some quality ink. Think he might work at Powercore. Thanks, Josh. What kind of ink did he have, Croaks?
I don't know. I thought you'd look him up, knowing you're a big fan of ink. It sort of goes over my head. I don't really know much about it. I'm a clean
I don't
skin.
know much about it either. I just know what's good and what's not.
What's good?
The guy at the barber today had a big German Shepherd on his leg. I was like, why would you get a German Shepherd tattooed on your calf?
Don't mind that.
Do I look him up on Instagram or Strava, Croaks? Where'd you get the ink stuff from?
Would have been Strava.
Yeah, all right. Didn't have it on his LinkedIn. Oh, yeah. Bit of ink for sure, Croaks. Bit of ink here. Good-looking rooster too, isn't he? Tell you what, you're not seeing much skin. All you're seeing is ink. Leg sleeves, arm sleeves, chest is done. I reckon he could fight this guy too. Anyway, Patreon, if you want to support our show, patreon.com/Inside Running Podcast. UK Monthly Boys today. Road to somewhere every second week. So their next episode will be in race week. We're also counting down the songs on there, boys. Have you listened? You listened to the top 20?
I've been listening. I've been listening.
Yeah, for what wasn't a massive fan of the first one. It was probably maybe three or 4 songs. I'm like, yeah, these are okay.
From 30 down to 20.
Yeah, there was about 3 up.
The 20, I've listened to 20. I've listened to the first 10 that you put up, then the second middle, then the middle 10. Every one of them has earned their spot up there. I couldn't argue against any of them.
Yeah. Well, I'll read through it. So I can't, because due to licensing stuff, like we're putting the full songs and the countdown, a bit of like Triple J, pretty much just ripping off Triple J's Hottest 100, just living out of boyhood dream, boys, where you get to read out the numbers. But this was the top 30 down to 20. Untouched by the Veronicas, Sandstorm by Darude. You would have liked that, wouldn't you, Croaks?
Look, I don't mind the Veronicas.
The Veronicas was a strong start. Kanye West and Pusha T with Runaway at 28. 27, X Gonna Give It To You by DMX. 26, Song 2 by Blur. 25, Let 'Em Know by T.I. 24, Eye of the Tiger by Survivor. That would have got you going, Croaks.
Oh, yeah.
You would have been happy with that.
Yeah, Rocky 4 days. Yeah.
Yeah. 23, Can't Hold Us by Macklemore and Ryan Lewis. 22, this should have been higher in my opinion, was Stronger by Kanye West. 21, Rip It Up by 28 Days. And number 20 is The Nosebleed Section by the Hilltop Hoods. The next 10's more rounded. There was a lot of hip hop and rap in that 30 down to 20.
How about you giving me shit about Rip It Up and it's now in the top 30?
I never gave you shit. I just didn't think it'd come in that high.
Well, a lot of people agree with me.
How many votes did you put in, Moose?
What was it? She had 21st.
I can't remember putting any votes in. I sent a couple to Brady.
Quiet day in the store and Moose is just vote.
Refresh. He just cooked the system.
Mate,
He's
we
got
don't
all
on
it at home. Keep
sit
pushing
on
submit.
Can you imagine me having the time to do that?
So that's the countdown show is on Patreon if you want to check that out. Running news, this week's running news segment is proudly brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration. We'll kick off with the Australian Championships. You put it all in my colour here, Croaks, but jump in, boys, where you see fit. We'll start with the 1500s. We'll start with the men's because that's a bit easier to recap. Cam Myers got the win. Gun to tape 3:29. You've got 2:29 here.
Yeah.
Geez, you got excited here. It was fast, not quite that fast. 3:29.85, which was a championship record. I was listening to the Let's Run boys today, and they were saying it's only the second time someone has gone gun to tape to break 3:30 in a 1500.
Yeah.
Do you know what the other one was?
Tim Chariot, world champs.
Tim Chariot, 2019 world champs at Doha. He went to the front and he just turned the screws the whole time. Oli Hoare went with him and was still with him near the bell and then dropped off in the final lap, but he's still very strong run, 3:32. Adam Spencer was pretty much best of the rest. Oli and Cam were in different races, and then Adam Spencer was third in 3:34. Phenomenal, boys. Just pause there for a second. People don't realise, maybe if you're new to the sport, how good Cam Myers is.
Yeah.
Like, if you just expect that this happens, you're like, no, this is phenomenal.
It is unbelievable. Like, the whole championships, were unbelievable because we had such outlandishly massive performances, and it sort of it dulls something like this down slightly because of like Gout running what he did in the 200, and then seeing Claudia like and all that like debacle stuff happen. But when you can like looking at it on paper, think about the best 1500 runners that we've seen through our time on this podcast, and then you've got Cam Myers coming and doing something that none of them have done before, except Tim Chariot.
Yeah, he's the only Australian to have broken 3:30 twice now. And to think that he actually did this in a time trial, I can't wait to see him get in some of these paced races, because it's got to be worth, like, I know, like, it's got to be worth a second and a half. Easy. Like, we're just starting to put him in, like, 327, 328.
Yeah. Yeah, he hasn't been challenged at all. Like, Oli Hoare was there with him, but he didn't challenge him. He beat him by 3 seconds.
It was just a matter of how long could Oli hang on for.
Yeah, it sort of was good that he pushed him to a degree, but still, there was no like coming on his shoulder at 200 to go just to get that little bit more out of him.
Yeah. He seemed a bit disappointed too that he didn't run 3:28, like his post-race interview, and he interviews well. Can you please, when I'm away next week, Croaks, can we try and tee him up to fill in? I would love to sit back in Boston and listen to that.
I think he's off to, maybe. I know he's heading to Flagstaff just after Anzac Day.
The only thing is, though, like, he has to almost shut stuff down again now and then peak again. Like, if he could do Oslo Diamond League in 10 days' time with paces, you're like, yeah, he's going to run 3:27. But he has to do the whole close the Australian season, go to altitude, which he can do. Obviously, he knows how to do it now. But that's a challenge for him.
But his training's very much, sure, he's done some sharpening up sessions, but it's not your traditional where you have like a massive base phase and then you go into like really, really specific work. Like, his weeks are almost very similar in that, throughout the year. Like, Tuesdays will be a bit more like VO2 stuff, and then he'll do double threshold Thursday, and then Saturday, when he's in base, will be like, K reps at Stromlo and some hills, that sort of thing. It sort of changes a bit probably as he gets closer to racing, but it's very repeatable week after week. So he doesn't have these really massive blocks of like sharpening and tapering.
So. Does he go to that race with Josh Kerr, the mile, where Josh Kerr is going to attempt the world record?
Josh probably won't let him run.
Yeah, probably won't want him to be there.
Is that
it's at a Diamond League, though, isn't it? London Diamond League?
Yeah.
Well, he won't have a say then.
But what if? Because I listened to parts of that podcast as well, and because the pre-Fontaine Diamond League is actually before the London one. So what if they? And that's a mile as well. I think the pre-meet. So imagine if they went, oh, well, we'll spoil Josh Kerr's party and we'll set this one up for a world record.
Oh, and with Nike and Cole Hocker, why wouldn't they?
Yeah, they should be. They absolutely should be.
The only thing is someone almost has to sacrifice their race to get them to 1,200.
Yeah.
Well, they got Nike have the stable for that.
I'm just saying, if you're good enough to pace that to 1,200, you're probably good enough to race it. Maybe with Laros coming back from injury, just say don't worry about getting back fully fit. Just get him to 1,200 fit.
Get an 800 guy up, take him an
800 guy gets the next pace at 800, and then someone else gets one more
that's
lap.
right. Gets one more in. Yeah,
so exciting.
Yeah, he can do it
so well.
He can do it, and he's not just like now a breakout junior. He is a world stage star that has people talking in athletics around the world. Like, he's not just a like insular blinkers on Australian star. He's like a genuine star.
Yeah, we've got one here, boys. Watch him.
Yeah.
One to watch for the future. Women's 1,500 did go off before this. They absolutely jogged. It was everyone. I guess I was just watching Jess Hull, because you're like, all right, she's going for 3 races, 3 golds. What's she going to do? You know, fittest, best PB in the field. Does she just string this out and eliminate as many people as possible? But she just chilled. And then everyone, like, they just all backed themselves, obviously, for the last lap sprint, which I think was close to, was it 56 for Claudia?
Yeah, something like that.
Even with getting caught up there. But yeah, the stack probably came, Jess leads into the straight. It was weird with the camera angles because they had the whole championships, they were doing this where they'd show them front on around the bend and then they'd throw to about 80 meters out, they'd throw to the side on view. Do you guys get annoyed about that?
I didn't notice it too much.
Yeah, every race I felt like there was 2 different camera angles. But anyway, Claudia tries to go up the inside and Jess, she definitely was wide in lane 1, which is a smart thing to do because you want to keep people on the outside from, getting past you too easy. You want to push them wider. So she did leave a little gap up the inside. It looked like she tried to close it down on the inside. And then Claudia obviously didn't have that exit. And then she tried to go on the outside, took out Jess's legs, got the win. It kind of sent Jess a bit wide as well, which pushed Abbey Caldwell wide. And then Sarah Billings was the widest. So then she could go through on the outside to get Abbey on the line. We were kind of sitting there because, Jess hit the ground hard, like a hard dropping. She got up, finished the race, and then they had the mics on, like the coverage. So you could hear the girls talking to each other. And it was this really like awkward. You could even see Claudia across the line and almost looked like she had this long like blink where she just closed her eyes for a while and then, made sure Jess was okay. But it was this really awkward couple of minutes there where everyone wasn't sure what was going to happen. Commentators weren't sure. Later on, straight away, they're just like, all good, no disqualifications. And then was it like about 40 minutes later, Claudia did get disqualified, which meant Sarah Billings was the Australian champion. And then we found out the next day, which I feel find so odd, that it was like 2 p.m. that they're like, oh no, Claudia's been reinstated. We've got additional footage. Interviews have been conducted and Claudia is now the Australian champion, which pushed, Sarah Billings to 2nd, Abbey Caldwell to 3rd. Thoughts, boys? Well, what did you think initially? So you see the stack, they crossed the line. Did you think Claudia was in trouble?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I was watching and I thought, these were my thoughts as they turned the corner. I'm like, geez, Jess, slightly more professional in how she's finishing this race, has got the better positioning coming around with 100 to go. She is also so professional in that she has closed what little gap there may have been behind her. And she has every right, like in my head, I'm like, she has every right to sort of shut that lane off because she is in lane 1, she's in front. She can sort of head back towards the inside. There was never enough gap for Claudia to get up. So they were my thoughts, is that Jess has just run this more tactically than Claudia has. I did at that point think, but geez, Claudia has so much life left in her that when she went to move, like she had enough life left in her that she's moved from the inside to try to get outside Jess. And it's only if you've got another gear to go, can you slightly slow down to get around with 80 meters to go, which is insane, like that you've got so much left. But in doing that, she kind of knew that her only way to win that race was to take a big risk and go from her position to outside Jess. And the risk of that is that you clip someone, and that's what she did. And so I immediately thought, oh, that's a DQ. Like Claudia's caused that trip, and she did it because Jess was tactically better.
Croaks?
Yeah, so maybe with like 70 meters to go, I'm like Jess is in front, but I feel like she's at her limit and he's basically just doing everything now to hold on, not necessarily like kick away. And then you could see Abbey coming on the outside, and Abbey still looked really good. And based on how well she closed in the 800, you'd have to think that she's probably got a little bit more there as well. And then obviously you could see Claudia was just like chomping at the bit to sort of, she's almost started to panic going, shit, there's only like 50 meters left of this race. I've got more in my legs, but where do I go? And like looking at it, yeah, like I also think that Abbey was so close to Jess on the outside that had she got to the outside and not clipped Jess, she's probably running into Abbey and pushing her wide. It was just like, yeah, so I had no issue with her getting DQ'd. It would have been interesting to see had they all had a free run to the line. I think Claudia or Abbey gets the win over Jess. I think they had more in their legs at that point, just based on how they looked and facials and that sort of thing. But I guess we'll never know.
The decision making around the DQ, that's irrelevant though.
Like, oh yeah, no, 100%, yeah.
Yeah.
And when it comes back to, and this is where, like, if you're in the wrong position, just because you've got energy, you can't just bulldoze your way through. It's like you just have to wait for your time for something to open up and get out in a safe manner. And that's on you because you've made the tactical error there not to be in the right spot. And because she wasn't in the right spot and she panicked and was erratic, she then caused the fall.
Yeah, you got to reward positioning. Positioning is a part of racing.
Yeah. And that's the best racers know where to be.
Mm. And we've said so many times over the years that Jess is so good tactically. Yeah. We call that NCAA's practice.
This is the second time, though, that Jess has gone down in a slow race. Like, you remember at Tokyo, she went down and she got put through to the final?
Yeah, in the 800. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so... like
that was pretty early on in the race, though, Moose. That wasn't a slow race. It was more that she was coming across and then got caught up. I think that was like 200 metres into the race when she fell in the 800 and got reinstated.
200, was it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was in the first 200, like because they've come across from their like lanes and she's got caught up.
All right. Well,
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
No, I've got images that it's on the top end, like coming in 150 metres. But I think it was the first lap, wasn't it?
Too.
Yeah, the
first lap.
First lap, yeah.
No.
So
first lap, like 150 metres, like to go. About to come into the straight. Anyway.
150 to go on the first lap.
Yeah, so it was early on the race.
So 550 to go.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, yeah.
I'll tell you what's disappointing, though, is how, and this, I don't know if it comes back to AA, but sure, like, if somebody appeals, like multiple people appeal, like surely then they just have one tribunal to look at it, and then whatever they come up with, that is the decision. You don't then have somebody be able to go, no, I'm going to appeal that, because everyone's looked at it, like the referees have all looked at it and made a call on it.
Mm-hmm.
No, additional footage, though. I'd love to see this additional footage. So I'm assuming the additional footage shows that Jess, so I assume the additional footage shows that Jess was wide enough that Claudia had a run up the inside. But I still think if Jess is in front, doesn't she then get to still choose where she runs? Because at the end of the day, they reinstated her. So we're all saying Claudia should have been DQ'd. She's the Australian champion.
There's this aftermath, like immediately after Jess appeals. Jess puts in protest. So you're sure that Jess and Abbey were both put in protests for this race?
They said that on the coverage, yes.
Oh, they did. Okay. So Jess puts in a protest, but Jess was never going to get reinstated for the win. So what was like the desired outcome from Jess protesting that?
And just on that, Brady, about if the additional footage, if the additional footage shows Jess has like basically shut Claudia off, and that's supposedly like an illegal move, why in the results is Jess not DQ'd? Her result stands.
Yeah, I don't know. We've spoken about making things complicated a number of times. Like it got very complicated, and the media had a field day with it. And it shouldn't have taken until, I reckon it was 2 p.m. the next day.
Yeah.
So the aftermath, though, is that like Claudia now is a lock for the Commonwealth Games by getting reinstated.
Yeah.
So she's been selected for Com Games based on
this. She had to be top two and have the time. So she ticked that box.
So Jess appealing, you would think that the goal of that would be so Claudia was DQ'd, not to put Jess into a further like Jess going from 12th to 11th, she's not going to care about that. But it's like the protest was to stop that selection happening, I'm assuming.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So we'll protest to get her disqualified so then she doesn't take up a spot that you're trying to also get.
That's my theory, or like why else would you protest? Like,
but this is where Jess Hull should just be an auto anyway. It should, if you're an Olympic silver medalist and you're the record holder and she shouldn't be fighting these fights for that spot.
Yeah.
No, and I
would almost medal at the previous Olympics. You're in. Back your athletes.
I would almost have Claudia as an automatic as well, based on those two deserve to be on the team.
Well, Claudia's just proven though that her race tactics might not be there yet though. But I guess she beat Georgiana Bell the week before.
What about the technical room afterwards? A bit of argy-bargy, a bit of fire in there, I heard. One of the coaches going the other coach.
Yeah, well, I don't know about any like these things because they come. Obviously, we're not there, but I heard there was some heat, which I love. I love it. Did you see Jess's quotes in the Wide World of Sport article?
You got them there ready to read because I liked them.
Yeah, I loved them too. But she did take a swipe at her young rival support team. It wasn't surprising, honestly. She said of the disqualification being overturned, they were fighting pretty hard for it. And I think that's quite telling to character sometimes, but it is what it is. I honestly don't care about the national title. I've got 10 of them myself. I love it. That's the best one. That's how I feel about Stall. If that's what you want to do to win one, go ahead. But yeah, it's not to any fault of any athlete. It's a bigger, wider circle that sometimes gets involved. She also said, I think a lot of us would acknowledge it's a DQ anywhere else in the world, but it isn't here. You just want a fair race. If you get beat fair and square, you can live with that.
One of the
who's she going?
Team? This it's alleged, right? And I'm not sure. I think it's pretty much confirmed that Jess has left her manager Stephen Haas, and Claudia's manager is Stephen Haas. So perhaps like some sort of conflict there. Are you boys aware of this sort of stuff going on?
Yeah, I've heard that whisper.
Was Stephen Haas Jess's manager?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. And no longer?
That's what I've heard through the grapevine.
That's what we've heard. But then Claudia now is managed by Stephen Haas. So perhaps that sort of refers to that support network there. And obviously like coaches are part of a support network. So Craig Mottram's Claudia's coach.
Yeah.
It's just like it just didn't need to drag on for as long as it did. Like it should have been make your call that night. Either she's disqualified or she's this Aussie champ. The fact that it then went into the next day probably got the media even more like hyped up about it.
But you know how good this is for the spectacle of running in our sport. It's unbelievable. We've got two of the best runners in the world now with a bit of rivalry. This is good for
especially
us.
when it was like, they hadn't raced each other.
Yeah.
So this is the first time they were going head to head, and then for this drama to happen. Do you feel a bit sorry for Abbey here in that everyone's talking about, would have Claudia beat Jess, but Abbey was still moving well down that straight.
I've got to watch it again, Crow, because I've ignored Abbey the whole time. I forgot about her because I was only watching Jess and Claudia.
Feel for Sarah Billings. She was the national champion for like 12 hours.
And she would have been presented with a medal. She had to go and hand it back. Go back. Go to the courtroom.
That system. You cannot have appeals and stuff going that long.
Yeah, that is.
No one goes home until we're sorted this shit out. That's what I would have been if I was in charge.
Could you imagine Moose? There's no way Moose would have handed the medal back. He's like, no.
Gone. I'm gone. I spent it already, boys. that money's gone.
They did hold themselves pretty well though in the media, like the initial interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
They both had to back up for races again, which credit to them. That wouldn't have been easy to do.
Yeah.
What else you got, Moose?
No, I'll save it for whispers.
Okay. Good. That's the 1500s, the 5K. Cam Myers backed up. This was pretty much 24 hours after. Won this 13:11:66. Beat Seth 13:12:42. which I thought was a pretty good run from both these guys, like fast times. Seth, not as aggressive as we're seen. Morgan closed pretty hard, 13:12:43. I'm going to make a call here, fellas. Lapped runners. I feel like Morgan, he was closing hard, but he kind of had nowhere to go because they were lapping people. Like, I don't know what you do with him. Get him, jump in lane 7, or sometimes they go in and out. But yeah, that was a weird kind of camera shot seeing those 3 boys sprint to finish, and then they're also trying to get around some lap people. Great that Cam can back up and run a 13:11, which, did I read somewhere, 6th fastest of all time for 5K?
For
Really?
what? Oh, for Aussie?
Yeah. Well, obviously you got Mottram, you got Stewie, you got Kai.
Collis. Collis 13:08, I think.
Okay.
Benny Saint from about 13:10 or so.
Okay.
You got
maybe 6 was a bit high. Troopy? What would Troopy? 13:15?
Nah, he broke Ron Clark's record.
Who is the young fella that's just come out?
There wouldn't be many of them though. He's probably not far off top 6.
Jude Thomas.
Jude Thomas, that's right.
Oh, indoors and Jack. Yeah. Maybe it was just outdoor times, this list. Forget about those indoor times. What do you think of the 5K, boys?
Oh, impressive. Like, even you look at, so Cam, was it back in December at the Abbey Thomas meet? He was trying to break the Australian under 20 record.
Oh, yeah.
Held by Mizan Mahari at like 13:24 or something like that. And he ran like 13:30. And, I think it was a hot day, and he ran like, solo for a large chunk of it. But he's come leaps and bounds since then. Obviously, this won't count as an under 20 record because you got to do it before the year you turn 20 or something. So yeah, it doesn't count as an under 20 world record, even though he's not. Oh, sorry, Australian record, even though he's still under 20. But yeah, and I just want to know now how fast he could run for a 5K in like a diamond league when he hasn't run 2 1500s beforehand.
Yeah. That'd be a strong team if we sent it, wouldn't it? Com Games. Will Cam want to run a 5K at the Com Games, Croaks? Have you looked at the program?
No, I don't know. But I reckon he would probably just go more all in on the mile. Yeah,
but say the mile's like 4 days before. How good would it be? Like, he could just sit in the pack, go to the front with 4 laps to go, Cam, and run 3:32 for the last 1500. Not many people in the Commonwealth keeping up with you there.
Also, like, great runs. Like, great to see Morgan back injury free. And Seth, like, obviously people were like questioning his tactics at Maury Plant, but having an all-out 3K where you sort of start to tie up down the straight has probably brought his fitness up for this national 5K more so than him, cruising 2K and then having a massive kick down at the end. So, it's a significant PB for Seth as well.
What's the qualifying time? So these guys have got the top 2. Do they need the qualifying time before the weekend?
Yeah, well, you needed it before the weekend, or run it to be like an automatic sort of thing.
Okay. So now, how does the qualification work?
Good question. Who knows? I don't know.
Selector's discretion.
They do have I'll try and find it by the end of the show, but on the athletics website, AA website, they've got like you go to where you like nominate for the teams, and it's got the qualifying standards there, but it's also got who's currently like qualified for the events based on like, who's run the times.
Okay.
But I'll try and find that.
Yep. 800s, the first bit of drama here was that Peyton Craig missed the final. Musha started talking about it before. Gets 50 metres out, 30 metres out, 20 metres out. It's looking good. Bob Abrahaman was in the same heat. Turns to him. We're through. Let's do a little bit of a fist pump. Our boy from South Australia, you got his name there, Croaks? Come home like a steam train.
Amakata?
Amakata, come home. Bruce McAvane is panicking in the coach's box. In the commentator's box. And, Peyton gets out, dipped on the line. Knew it straight away. Slow heat as well. Oh, embarrassing. He'll never, ever ease up before the finish line. Again, that kid.
Yeah, it is embarrassing. Like, that's the first thing. I'm like, he wanted to get off that track as quick as possible. He he's not proud of what he did there. I feel like he got a bit sucked into it by Abdul Rahman just at the start there. Like he was behind. It was Bob that turned around and made the gesture. It wasn't Peyton that initiated it. So I feel like he got sucked in. I feel bad for him, but at the same time, like, that's on you, Peyton, and that's a novice mistake. It's an immature mistake to make. You're not seeing Jess Hull make that mistake, or Peter Boll. They're well and truly getting over the line before anything like that happens.
Good learning experience for him though. Like he's relatively young.
Yeah. He'll never make that again.
Yeah.
What's with fist pumping like and congratulating people you qualify with as well though? Like that's the person you got to race the next day.
Yeah.
Like I'm crossing the line. Like you're shaking hands after the race, but that's your competitor.
I also don't understand that at all. Like if like the fist pumping before the finish from anyone, arrogance.
Yeah,
that's
disrespecting
what that is.
Everyone else in that heat.
100% you are.
Yeah.
And you're just showing off to say, oh, we fucking did that easy, didn't we? Like, look how good we are. That's the reason you do that. And especially, like you said, like, where's the competitive element to it?
Cam and Jude did it in the 1500. Right as they crossed the line, they like shook hands.
Yeah, I saw that, but I don't get it. Like, why? Like, shake it, like, congratulations afterwards, sure, but I'm not sure. It was a little closer than that though, to the line.
They were crossing the line and did it. Yeah. So the 800 did roll around the final. Pete Bowl won his 5th national title, 145.6. Was challenged up the back straight by Daniel
Williams.
And then Daniel was going backwards pretty quick in the home straight. Pete kicked away. Luke Boys, real solid run from Luke Boys. So you watch this race back. He's in like off the rail a lot of this race, and he loses by 1 step to Pete Bowl, 145.7. I do think Pete eased up a bit, but this was a solid run from Luke because I don't think he got his positioning right throughout this race. And then Bob Harmon was 3rd in 145.9. He's had a season, Bob. Haven't heard of him before this season. Now he's 3rd. Be like those two big names in the 800. Abbey Caldwell, huge kick finish here, 158.57. Beat Claudia Hollingsworth in the final, 158.91. Sarah Billings was 3rd, 159.23. Kat Bissett did qualify for the final, but then didn't rock up. Her lane was empty for the final. She announced Instagram or anything where she was? Croaks, seen anything?
No, I haven't.
I'll look her up now. But yeah, because she looked like, I guess, back to her old self by winning her heat. But yeah, strange that she then wasn't in the final.
Yeah, I thought Abbey was really impressive here. Like knowing just how good Claudia has been all season, and to really do it quite easily, get past her. Like I'm not sure whether maybe the days preceding had just taken a bit out of Claudia, in terms of just like emotional energy. Like imagine that being like you're 20, about to turn 21, so like fairly young, and all that stuff that's just happened. Like it's got to take a toll emotionally. Not to take anything away from Abby's run, because as I said, it was incredible. It was clinical basically. So yeah.
Yeah. The steeples also happened. Cara Fan Ryan got the win, 9:35, beaten Brielle Erbacher, 10:03. Ed Trippers won this, 8:35.2 in the men's to beat Ben Buckingham, 8:45.
That was surprising for me.
Third place must have been slow because Croaks didn't put your name in the results.
Ben, to be honest, like when the steeples are not a very great spectacle in Australia. I love athletics, but when they're putting this on prime time, it's I don't think people at home would get excited about watching this, because the men's race, it was 2 of them, and Ed cleared away like pretty easily, and Cara won by what's the gap there? 30 seconds.
Yeah,
like it's not great viewing. But back to the men's, like this sort of surprised me because Ed's sort of been struggling a little bit on all of the flat races compared to Bucks, and sort of turn the table here. If you asked me who was going to win this before the race, I probably would have said Bucks, just based on form on the flat up until this point of the season.
Bucks has won a few medals at this race. He's been around for a long time, consistently up the top.
But then Ed is the Australian record holder, so I guess he should go in as favourite, even though his flat form hasn't been great.
It's one of those events too, isn't it? Like you lose a Max Clark, and all of a sudden it thins out real quick.
Yeah. You missed the women's 5K, Brady.
Sorry, there's so much action here. So much action. The women's 5K, this is where... Oh, yeah, sorry. Jess Hull. Bit more pace in this one. Lauren Ryan did a lot of work out the front. She was backing up from the 1500 as well. This was star-studded. Like, these fields, I heard them saying, like, 5 of the fastest 5 of all time are, like, in this race. So, like, what an era we get to run in where you're seeing that kind of depth there. 3 laps to go. Rose Davies put in a quick one. So I was saying to Carly, like, first boss was try to be there with 3 laps to go. Second boss, see if you can survive the fast lap from Rose Davies. And then 2 laps to go, Lyndon Hall goes to the front, puts in a quick lap. And then Jess Hull goes for the last lap and closed in 61 to run a 5:13. Sorry, 15:13. Lyndon Hall second, 15:15. Probably the only person who could respond to the move that Jess made. Morty Skyring got over Rose Davies to run 15:18. I reckon that's a huge scalp for Morty to take down Rose.
100%, yeah.
I had Rose as a big threat here because I was like, I don't know, maybe I rated Rose's kick too high because I was like, if this is slow and Rose is there over K to go, I've seen that kick so many times at Lakeside, but maybe there's levels to it.
100%.
But you're not out kicking Jess Hull at the end of a Zatopek.
Rose has got a good kick at the back end of a 10K, whereas the only chance Rose had of winning this 5K was if it was quick, like from the gun to take the sting out of Jess's legs. But even then, like, Jess is no slouch over 5K. So that's why I was surprised that Rose didn't go earlier, because the longer she left it, it's like, well, she's not going to compete with a 350, 1500 meter runner, and even like Lyndon's 356 or something. So, but Morty to run over the top of Rose, I think was a really impressive run.
Yeah, and good to see Jess after the weekend she'd have to, get a medal.
And just speaking of like lapped runners, I understand that in a 5K, if you've got somebody running close to like 13 minutes, like in the men's, to get lapped, like you're still a 14 low sort of 5K person. And so to not have a low 14 minute 5K runner in a national championship is pretty rough. So getting lapped, I think, is fine, but there's no way in a 5K people should be getting lapped twice. Like that's where it starts to get dangerous. If people are getting lapped that many times, so I think they do need to look at, if you can't run a particular standard.
Yeah, they'd have qualifiers. You wouldn't be able to just enter this race.
Well, I remember back in the day, it's like if you finish top 3 in your state or territory, you got an automatic entry. So it didn't matter, let's say you come from the Northern Territory and you're a 20-minute 5K runner and you finish top 3 at your state championships, you're automatically eligible. What do you guys think? Like being lapped twice?
Now the qualifier. But yeah,
twice in a 5K?
Look at that now, Croaks.
You got to fill the field, don't you? You can't only have 8 people in the race.
Well, I know. It's
a tricky one. I mean, 2 laps, I think you got to pull them off. Like, if you're going to get
14:05 for men, Croaks, to get into the men's race.
Yep.
Women, 5,000 meters, 17 flat. So it's a big range, isn't it? Because we're talking about girls who are running 14:40s.
Well,
but even 17 flat, you're not getting lapped twice. Like,
so for men though, like that's 1 lap. So 14:05. If they run 14:05 and the winners run 13:05, that's like they're not getting lapped.
They're not getting lapped, no.
But if the women run 17 flat, but they're winning it in 15:10, they're getting lapped
Only once. They're not going to be lapped twice.
Yeah. And so
people don't run their PBs at this meet. So like the person who's run 14:05 to get in might have a bad day and run 14:30. Same with the girl who's run 16:59. She runs 17:30.
They're still only going to get lapped once if you're running 14:30. You're not getting lapped twice.
But the women add 20 seconds to 17:20. They're getting lapped twice.
Yeah, they are.
It's so just the range is way bigger in the women's.
Yeah. I think you got to pull them. Like if you're in the back 10 or the bottom 10 and you're getting lapped once, you like I'd say you got to pull it off.
Well, because especially if you think about it, if you're getting lapped twice, you're going to be getting lapped right at the business end of the race.
Yeah, which creates the carnage.
There's also times for under 23 and under 20. So it goes for the women to, it goes to 17:30 and then 18:30.
Yeah.
So I guess a 19-year-old who's ran 18:29 could be in there with Rose Davies of 14:40 something. Yeah. I thought the coverage was good though. I didn't like early on when you couldn't watch the heats. Like now that Channel 7 had it, I was like, I really want to see the heats of this stuff. But then when I saw it packaged as like, here's 2 hours on your Sunday afternoon, you get all this action all together, I was like, this is really good. And just knowing people, got a massage the other day and the guy's talking about it because he had it on the TV. And I'm like, it's hitting home.
Yeah. I think though, you should have access to the men's and women's 1500 meter heats at the national championships in this day and age, especially when you can watch a Vic Milers meet, you can watch ACT state champs, because like these heats were stacked, and I think we should be able to see those.
But the contract would go to Channel 7 and then they would go, this is the coverage we're providing. So they probably just need to have that in the window. But then how do you give the timetable that much time for those boys to recover, double, all that kind of stuff? If that was the sacrifice I had to make to deliver it the way they delivered it, I reckon it's worth it. But I agree with you. Maybe like just a Vic Milers Club kind of link style.
Yeah.
That was the national champs. Take me to Canberra, Croaks.
All right. So, the marathon and the half marathon were on yesterday, and like the 10K was on the Saturday. So in the marathon, pretty tough course, and it was actually pretty blowy out there yesterday. So in the men's, Jared Osborne, who I believe is a Canberra-based triathlete, he got the win in 2:24.49, which is a pretty solid run given the conditions, given the course. Beat Matt Cox 2:25.08, and Archer Ramsey was third in 2:28.10. In the women's, Demi Caldwell got the win 2:43.24. Beat Lucy Wakeham 2:26, and Sarah Stark was third in 2:51. Where were you positioned, Moose, for this?
We were for the marathon, the 26K mark, and for the half, it was like the 10K mark. So just past those drink stations, up about 100 meters, and then the athlete on Adelaide Ave, and then about probably another 100, they do a U-turn and come back down the exit ramp and onto Hopeton Circuit, where they would go over a hill. So we got to see the athletes coming towards us, as well as on the way back down the ramp.
Yeah.
So we had our funny story. We had our marquee out there, a tent, like a new one, the inflatable one, and we thought, we'll go out, because it's often like kind of lonely in these marathons that aren't major city marathons. So we'll get out there, we'll play some music, and we'll cheer people on. So we encourage all our staff to get down there, and we picked a spot on the course that we thought might be quite lonely, like where there's not a lot of people watching from, which is right. There was no one near us. It was on a fully road closed down area. So it was good. Put the tent up, turned into a bit of a rubbish dump, actually. Everyone would take their gel. They might have been grabbing them from the aid station or something, and they would just use our tent for the rubbish. So we just cleaned all that up. It was good to see the mix of gels getting used. Saw the marathoners come past. I think so Demi, she works for us in a running company Canberra. She had an awesome run. First marathon ever. Nailed it. But the guy who won, they got coached by the same person, I think. So
James Thorpe. He was a triathlete as well.
Pretty good result for that fella.
Yeah.
For the weekend. But yeah,
what happened, Moose? What was your story?
Well, so we were out there for we got there at about 6:45, set up pretty early just so we didn't miss anything. And we were there till about 9:45. So about 3 hours on the side of the road. Cheering. It was pretty fun. It's rare that I go out and just cheer for a marathon. I only knew a few people out there. Everyone seemed to enjoy it, but except for one lady who came past on a scooter. She was part of the event staff. And she slowed down and she yelled at us, "What you're doing is illegal, and we've called the AFP on you, the Australian Federal Police." And we were just sitting there looking at each other stunned, why would you do that? We're out here cheering on, trying to provide a little bit more value for your race, to cheer the runners on, give them a bit of a lift out here.
What did she say? What you're doing illegal?
No, she didn't. No, she didn't say what. I assumed it was because we put our marquee up, but I don't know why putting a marquee up would be illegal. We're just on the side of the road. I don't.
Yeah, it'd be no different to putting up a cool cabana or something and sitting under it.
Well, the roads are shut. There's no traffic, and we're on the side of it. We're on the green bit, and I just thought, you know what? That's a sign that you don't give a fuck about your runners that are running in your race. If you're gonna lash someone for being out there cheering, you're thinking the wrong thoughts as an event. Now, this could have been Chris. He's a voice of reason. He calmed me down a little bit because I was pretty angry. He's like, it could just be one lady who's just made this decision to go rogue and have a crack at us rather than represent the race's position on having people out there cheering. But regardless, she represents the race. And
do you reckon it was illegal in terms of your setting up advertising for your business, when maybe other businesses have set up things at the event precinct, the expo or whatever, and paid a fee to do it?
Yeah, they're at the expo. We didn't set up at the expo. We set up at the 26-kilometer mark of the race, and we weren't trying to sell anything.
I know. Yeah, I know.
We had a marquee to give us shelter. And look, maybe there's a bit of advertising to having a sign on the side of the road, but that's it's 26-kilometer mark of a race, and it's a public place. So yeah. I was pretty disappointed.
On the road, were you?
No, we went on. You saw the picture. I got a picture on Instagram. We're not on the road. In fact we cleaned up the area for them. Yeah.
My biggest, I suppose, my croaks on the loose about the event, because look, I thought the Saturday was amazing. They did such a good job, and I like that they've split it again, having the 10K, the 5K, and the kids run on the Saturday. But it was a great atmosphere down there. I thought the 10K was run really well. But the marathon, I had a guy that I coach, he ended up running 2:59, and this was the problem with the course this year. And I understand they had to make changes because of all the construction that's going on around Canberra. But the half marathon and the marathon combine with 9K to go. So for the last 9 kilometers, the marathoners and the half marathoners are on the exact same course. Now, the half marathon starts an hour after the marathon. So that meant that my athlete who ran 2:59 is finishing with the 1:59 half marathoners. But for the 9K before that, he's running up the back of slower half marathoners than that. And there is a massive pace discrepancy between a 3-hour marathoner, so 4:15s, and a 2 hours to 2 hour 30 half marathoner. And there just wasn't enough space on the road. And I just feel if you're running to run under 3 hours for the marathon, you're putting a lot of work into your running. You're paying a pretty decent entry fee, and in the last 9K of the marathon, which is the hardest, you should have all you should be worried about is focusing on your running, not having to zigzag for 9 kilometers. I know personally, if this was me in the last 9K of a marathon when I'm hurting, I would almost just pack it in because I am not dodging people for 9 kilometers in the, in the back end of a marathon when it hurts. So they definitely need to look at that. Like it was ridiculous. Like I actually jumped on the course at one point because I'm like, well, I'm going to try and clear the way for him so he can just focus on my back. Because you know what it's like when you're trying to, you have to not only concentrate on your own running when you're hurting, you got to try and pick your line well before you get to those people. And so I'm like, well, if he can just sit behind me, I can try and clear the way for him. But it's just, it's not a great runner experience. I don't know what you guys think.
No, well, we've seen Melbourne make the changes.
Yeah, but that's only a few. That's only a few, like 9 kilometers.
9 kilometers
of running through 2.5 to 2 hour half marathoners when you're a sub 3 hour marathoner. Like 9 kilometers is a bloody long way of zigzagging. So anyway, that's my I was pretty annoyed by that. The half marathon, Ed Goddard got the win there, 66.02. Tom Bowers was second, 66.15, and Charlie Doherty was third, 70.15. Radke Karlefelt got the win in the women's, 78.39. Stacey Winter was second, 79.28. And Rebecca Campbell was third in 84.51. And in the 10K on the Saturday, Michael Roger got the win, 30.31. Beat Drew Fryer, 30.48. And Will Myson was third in 31.31. Jess Pascoe got the win in the women's, 37.32. Beat Portia Olsen, 38.14. And Zoe Honeybrook was third in 38.36.
Croaks was so close to reading his own name out, Moose. Imagine if he got Will Mason there in third.
I would have loved
that. Would be the dream. When's the last time one of us got in some results?
He was coming back pretty quick. He was 43 seconds in front of me at 5K. Yeah. Anyway.
Can't go bringing that up, Croaks. You didn't beat him.
No, I didn't beat him.
If only there was another 500 metres, you would have got him.
No, I wasn't saying that.
That's exactly what you were saying.
I think he's actually, I think he's doing Ballarat maybe. So
okay.
He ran 67 at Ballarat last year.
Oh, Croaks is in 67 shape, Moose. You'll give me some running news here to finish off, Moose. Some sad news coming out of New Zealand.
Sam Ruth got a stressy. His tibia, was it? Tibula. Is
fibula?
This is copy and pasted from stuff.co.New Zealand sport.
Is tibula a thing?
No. It's either tibia or fibula.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
This looks like a legit site.
Just Google that for a second. Tibula. Tibula. The most commonly referred to as a Roman town in northern Sardinia, but is misspelled in place of tibia. Yeah, I didn't think so. So
there we go.
Are we going to say tibia or fibula?
I'm trying to find another article here too.
Tibia would be much more common to have a stressy in your tibia.
Tibia is the big one. The fibula is the small one that sort of sits behind it.
Tibia takes way more load than the fibula.
This one says fibula. This is on rnz.co.nz.
Well, maybe he's got the less
stress
common
fracture might typically take 6 to 12 weeks of recovery time.
Yeah. So it's a bit strange, like that they're attributing it to soccer, right?
Well, these articles are saying they're pulling stuff from Strava. I haven't seen anything. Yeah, have you seen his Strava, Croaks? Because it just says he posted that he'll be off the radar for a while, although there was no indication whether timeout will affect his preparation or availability for the Commonwealth Games in July. On the Strava app.
Well, he got it playing soccer, right?
Yeah, he indicated that the injury caught him by surprise. And there are quotes, "It wasn't a running-related injury and was caused by lateral movement, activity like football, so I will be off the radar for a bit while it heals," Ruth said.
Yeah.
That seems a bit odd, though. I would have thought that a stress fracture or reaction is more of an overuse as opposed to an acute, like you break your leg.
Yeah. No, it's like an accumulation of stress, right, on the bone, rather than you move your leg the wrong way and it breaks.
Yeah.
I think if you've got maybe if you've got a lot of bone edema, like there's different levels to bone stress, but maybe if you've got one of the higher ones and then you move on it differently, it might, I'm not sure. Don't know what that is.
Might try and get a bit of info from his coach, Craig. He'll be listening to the show. See if I can report back next week. But yeah, not good news because he was meant to be going to Prefontaine Classic. Remember they announced him and Cam early?
Yeah, that would have been a good little...
Yeah.
That is the running news, though, boys, and that's thanks to Precision Fuel and Hydration. Chances are you're gearing up for a race yourself, but how dialed in is your race nutrition? Precision Fuel and Hydration makes it simple with a free online planner. Visit precisionhydration.com and get your numbers today. I got an issue, boys, with Precision. Packing my bags today. You know my favourite, the 90-gram gels.
You run out.
No, you can't have them in carry-on.
Oh.
Because they're bigger.
Oh, yeah.
So put them in your suitcase.
Andy Blow will look after you, won't he?
Is he over there? Do you reckon
I don't know. He'll get them sent to you.
Yeah, I'm taking a suitcase, but I don't want to get off the plane and I've just 3 90-gram gels have blown up in my suitcase. Have you seen how they handle your suitcases, those airport workers?
Put them in a plastic...
Bubble wrap them, you reckon?
Yeah, well, no, just like a plastic bag.
Yeah, but you've seen what they do to your bags. They throw them, jump on them.
You can still protect them, I think, in your suitcase.
This isn't bloody 1960, mate.
Yeah. Anyway, could get off the plane.
Take your chances.
Take your chances, yeah. We got some kit to review, boys. One Running review, half tights and singlet. Thank you to One Running for their support. Always enjoy when a bit of kit rocks up. Got mine in front of me as we're speaking, boys. You get that colourway for the singlet? The orange?
I did. I tell you what, it goes real well with Brady is my Kenyan half tights. Okay. The grey,
the orange sash with the checkered black and grey in the background. I like the bit of the just little details. You know that little logo down there. Be the one, like that. I like stuff with a bit of personality. The half tights are good as well. I got the pair with the liner, so you guys didn't. This is good. They knew what they were sending. I need a bit of support down there, boys. So I got the one with the liner.
He's worked on that.
I wish these had come earlier because this could be a real player. Like I've got to run a marathon this weekend, and I was like, this could be the tight to wear. But I haven't. You know when you haven't tested it over the big workouts, I don't know how 90-gram gels sit in it. Not sure about chafing, but I have probably run in these 4 times in the last 8 days because I am a massive fan. Attention to detail, Moose. You'll know on the bottom of the leg, or do you find it sits lower? Like it's a longer kind of half tight?
Slightly longer, yeah. Well, it depends because it depends, like compared to what? Like yesterday I wore the Nike Stride half tight and then I had the Say Sky 8-inch half tight on the day before.
Yeah, so I'm saying like this, I wear size small and I wear small across all these brands. This is a bit on the bigger side for a size small, which I like. Like it's getting closer to my knee. I like a longer half tight. I'd prefer that than a shorter one. And I also feel the singlet is a bit baggier for a small than what you might see in other brands. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I think that's actually a good thing. I think brands have made their smalls too small sometimes. So this is good that they've got this. And can you tell me, I'm just flipping over the very bottom of the leg there. They've got this like little grippy thing on the very bottom of the leg so it doesn't creep. I assume that's what it's for?
Correct.
Yeah, that's it. Well, there's a lot of half tights don't have that.
That's what I thought when I got them. I'm like, they've kind of addressed the things that that everyone's asked for with have a liner, have some deep pockets, make it so it doesn't ride up. So to me, like the first thing that when I went for a run with it, I'm like, functional pair of shorts here. Like this, it's functional. Doesn't probably have like the aesthetic that a Say Sky does, but who gives a shit? Like you're putting on a pair of half tights with great pockets that fit really well, that aren't going to chafe you from an Australian company. Like we love that.
Well, you've also got a prototype, whereas I have got there. So that's on one of the legs.
Yeah.
It's a dash, I guess, the best way to describe it. And then they've got their logo on the right leg. So
that's
I
true.
like that as well.
That's true. Yeah.
That it's got some personality. 2 deep pockets, both sides. I feel the pockets come up higher. Sometimes they sit lower on other half tights. Not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. Then at the back, you've got the zip option. So you can zip to put a few gels in there. And then you've also got this other like pocket as well, which would also hit a gel in. So I'd be confident that if I wore these for a marathon, I'd get 290s in both the legs, and then I'd get it 230s probably on the back. As I said, haven't put them in and tested it yet because they've just arrived. But yeah, that's a good half tight that I'll be getting a lot of Ks out of.
I can tell you how much you can fit in these things because I've worn them for my last 2 long runs. And yesterday, because I was down at the lake, I wasn't sure how long I was going to go for my long run. So I wasn't sure whether I needed a full 90-gram gel. So I had a 90-gram pouch. I had 230s. I had my phone. I had my gloves once I'd taken them off and put them in. And I had my car keys. I had all of that packed in for my long run yesterday. And
did you have bounce?
No bounce.
One thing to get it in, but another thing to not have bounce.
Yeah, so I had the phone in the side. Maybe if I had the phone in the back zip pocket, it might have bounced, but I had the phone in the side pocket and my gels in the side pocket. And then I had my gloves and my car keys in the back zip. So it's a fair bit of luggage.
I was going to say, I don't think you'd get your phone in the back pocket, but I've just put mine in there then, and it fits and zips up fine. Looks smaller than that. Yeah, enjoying these. What can you tell me about the singlet, Moose?
Well, I can't do this off the top of my head, but they got some flex on this. So let me read it out, because this is Zaka. Zaka forgot to send us this when we got it. It's a bit of a teched up singlet, this one. They're made from a 90 gram per 90 GSM 3D woven performance fabric sourced from Japan, designed specifically for racing or high intensity. Super lightweight, around 55 grams for a men's large, with a focus on breathability, moisture dispersion, and minimal weight when wet. They've got laser cut seamless joints reinforced with Bemis bonding to reduce friction and chafing and offer 40 plus sun protection. I told you it was a spec'd up singlet, boys. They haven't just like picked a factory and said make this. It's like, gee, they're going.
It's the first time I've ever heard of clothing being like UV sort of protecting.
It makes sense, right? It makes heaps of sense why you would want to have a UV rated piece of clothing.
Little not sure if you guys have noticed that, or you can see, I know this isn't great for podcasting, but a little diamond dot at the front. So they've got like this breathability like on your chest, which is different to the rest of the singlet. And then at the back as well, you can see there's a big rectangle. Not sure if you guys can see that, but there's something going on there, which I assume is to get the airflow to that area of your body. Good. Wore it for a workout today. Did the job. Want to put more Ks into it.
Nice one.
And have you wore the singlet yet, Croaks, for a workout?
Yeah, I wore it last. No, not for a workout. I wore it on one of my runs last week, and yeah, enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's good. Massive thanks to One Running. Looking forward to putting more Ks into those products. And I do think I saw an email today that those tights go on sale.
They drop next week. And they'll be selling both variants, so ones with or without liners.
Would you guys buy ones with the liners?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I do the
I always think if you got a liner option, you get that, so it's just one less piece of clothing.
Yeah, I'd do it.
Yep. That was that. Whispers, we've already been there. We've spoken about the songs for my segment, but I think, Moose, you got some whispers.
Yeah, in place of a moose on the loose, I'm going to go whispers. I'm hearing, boys, brands are starting to look ahead. 2032 Brisbane Olympics. It's getting close. They're sniffing out who they want to be, like who do they want representing them in the lead up during the Olympics, who they see is going to be on the podium there that could change their brand in the country. And if you were sitting down watching the Australian champs this last weekend, who would you be wanting? Looking ahead, mind you, we're still 6 years away, 5.5.
Cam Myers
won. Who else?
Claudia Hollingsworth.
Claudia Hollingsworth.
Gout.
Gout. He's already.
So him and Cam have signed long-term deals, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
So have they potentially taken unders? Like, I'm sure they would have been amazing at the time, but now that they're locked to like 8-year deals,
I don't think
6-year deals.
I think Gouts is pretty damn good.
There's no unders if you get an 8-year deal. That like 8-year deals in track and field. Who the hell
maybe
knows?
Is
6 million?
Is it 6 million over 6 years? But let's just say he comes out and runs 19. What's the world record? 19.3.
Yeah.
Say he breaks the world record and runs 19.3 2 years' time, and they're going, well, Adidas is only paying you $1 million a year. Unders. Got you locked in early, son. Let's say Cam Myers goes out and breaks the world record this year. They're like, we've got 4 more years with you, Cam.
I don't think Cam's on quite as long a contract as Gout. I'm not 100% sure on that.
But there's one left there, boys, and I think the brands are lining up.
Who? That we haven't mentioned?
Claudia.
Yeah, Claudia.
Like
Claudia's with On.
She's signed with On. She's with On now, but like, is she not on a 6-year contract?
You got to look at 6 years. So we're potentially talking about the Olympics with, Abbey's too old, or not too old, but you're like Abbey, Sarah Billings, Rose Davies.
You don't reckon Jess Hull could go to Brisbane?
Jess Hull. 6 years is a long time, Moose. Look how much we've gone backwards in the last 6 years.
Well, look,
that is true. That is true. Like, you look at athletes, how many athletes are able to stay at the top for multiple years?
2019 was 6 years ago. No, 2020. Look at that. Look at what happens in 6 years, boys. Turned into a fat toad.
That's my point exactly.
Look at Luke Matthews. He was fucking humming back then.
Look
Jess
at somebody
will be
like
35 in 6 years' time.
like Stewie. Like even Oli Hoare to a point. Like Oli Hoare, like 2 years ago, was like, this guy's the next like superstar. And like, yes, he's really good, but I would say that Ollie's more on the slide than he is on the up. And that's only been like a couple of years.
That's why you sign an 8-year deal if you can.
Yeah,
or a 6-year deal. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I get your point. Huge home Olympics. These are the people that are going to be on the Weet-Bix boxes. Like, you want that star.
I heard a few of the big brands are really throwing some big offers at her. And whether the current brand matches it, that's what we'll be waiting to see there.
So they should. Like, you look at what she's doing.
Oh,
Good whispering from you.
Yeah, massive star. Massive star.
Let's bring this show home, Croaks.
All right. This episode's listener question is proudly brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration, and it comes from Liam Stocky. What was your breakout run, and what do you think led to it?
Love reminiscing like this.
We've done this before. Liam Stocky, good pro runner. This guy.
We've obviously spoken about our past, but like a breakout run, something where you just go, ooh, shit, maybe I'm on a little bit of a new level here.
A little bit of a new level, or like,
something that sort of shocked you, going, oh, okay, like, yeah, all right, I'm going better than I thought. Like,
well, you got to identify your run first. Let Brady go first.
The night I ran 14:09 for 5K, that was like a different level for me.
Well, we know what you're attributing that to, coaching.
Iron infusion, which came from the coaching. I remember you were coaching me at the time, and I had a blood test, and my iron was like, 36 or something. And I was in this cycle of just taking the supplements, which weren't really working. And then my GP was like, yeah, just take these supplements. And you sent me a message, you're like, go back in and like demand that you want an iron infusion. And because that's the first time I'd heard it from somebody else, I was like, no, my coach said I need an infusion. He's like, yep, cool, we can book you for an infusion. And then I had a real shit race like the week before this 5K. Ran that 3K.
I remember we gave you a fair bit of shit about that.
Like 8:48 or something. I'm just like, shit.
I think
Croaks, not working.
I think we had a little side group after that. Croaks sent me a message like, this bloke's a head case.
Yeah. That's what annoyed me the most, because I'm like, what is going on here? And then, went to Melbourne the week after. It was exactly Thursday to Thursday. Ran 14:09, felt $1 million. Like, I was sprinting home that home straight with Liam Cashin. Like, I was just felt effortless the whole time. Then I went ran Zatopek like a month later, ran 29:34, then won Hobart half. I was like the form of my life. I was like, I can be a decent runner. And then COVID hit, and then, locked down for like a year and a half.
This was the period where super shoes were allowed on the track, hey?
Super shoes on the track, on the road.
You wore spikes, though, for that 3K, didn't you?
Well, yeah, 100%. Yeah, wore spikes for the 3K, had a shocker, got in the next percent, the slime green ones.
Wow. So that doesn't even count.
So what do you attribute it to? Like moose?
The iron. The iron makes a no, I'm not joking. Iron makes a huge difference.
Yeah, that's why. Like, I'm going to take some iron tomorrow and go run 30.
No. If you've ran at like a ferritin level of like, say mine was like 20 to 40 for like 2 years, and then you get an infusion, it makes you talk to anyone who's had low iron, it makes a phenomenal difference.
No, I understand that if you're deficit in something.
Yeah. And the trainer, like I'm not discrediting the trainer, like it was a good training program, but I think
what did you dump me for after getting all those PBs? You just dumped me.
I didn't dump you. COVID happened. We didn't have any races.
Oh, what? So you just stopped running? So
you stopped training? Didn't want to pay you with no races on the horizon.
How about that? That's the worst decision of his life. He's only gone backwards from there.
Just winging it for a couple of years, but yeah.
Oh. Maybe you having brought this up, Brady. Maybe after Boston, maybe Moose is your man.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, I don't have time for that.
No time, coach. Not taking new clients, Croaks.
What's yours, Moose?
Mine was
which one of the marathons?
I'm gonna do.
Kept breaking through. This is a good story.
I got two breakthroughs, and one of them wasn't a big fitness breakthrough, but I got like the first Geelong resident at Great Ocean Road Marathon, and we had a sister program with Senshu in Japan. And so you go over and do a homestay. So I went over there and I ran this marathon, and I wasn't that fit. And every marathon before that I had run terribly and I blew up big time. And so in this marathon, I paced myself really well and I moved through the field. And the last like 10K, I felt like a different person. Like I learned how to run the marathon that day, and I ran 2:28, not fast, but I came through the field so well. I ended up finishing third in the race. It's not like a really deep, prestigious event or anything. But I would have been 50th at halfway. And I reckon I passed 47 people in the back half, just because and then that's where I developed this whole like positive feedback chain, like mentality of a back half of a marathon, not being an absolute like hold on and die slowly, but this is where you can attack it. So that was me. That was like a breakthrough in mentality for me. And then the fitness breakthrough was when I went to Berlin, ran 2:18, and I credit that to Ballarat. The culture down there of higher mileage, a lot of hilly long runs, the mentality that 225, 224 was nothing, was not something to be proud of back then. You kind of went back to the group, no one give a shit. People actually made fun of like how it's like a nothing race running that at Great Ocean Road or whatever. And so I feel like just the ceiling, the bar gets raised in that town, or it did back then anyway. So it's not really a fit. It was a combination of things, but joining the Ballarat group was what got me my big breakthrough.
Yeah. If you're new to the show, just go back and listen too. This is all documented. Like you started on this show as a 2:24 guy, Moose.
Yeah.
10 minutes. 10 minutes you took off your time.
Yeah. 10 minutes, but slowly, like 2:18, 2:16, 2:14. And then I reckon like the best race was Doha, running 2:19 in that environment. That was the best race. I reckon I was fit. I reckon I was fit there. Like I would have gone under, like you can't really say it, but
go on, 2:10.
It would have been
say it.
2:6, but no, it was probably like Australian record that day.
Croaks, what's yours?
Mine was probably like back around like either 2002 or 2003. So sort of back end of uni.
Fuck, I was 17 years old.
23.
Yeah. Because I guess, and there's two reasons for it. So this is running 1500s. One was I'd actually strung together a period of training properly. So you know what it's like when you're at uni. There's like a lot of distractions. It's very easy to say yes to these parties or just other things. And at that point, I'm like, well, I'm not that good of a runner anyway. Like, why not? Like, why give up all this other stuff? And then I put in a really good like winter block and trained properly. And then it was the New South Wales 1500 meter heats. Gun goes. And so at this point, like I'd never broken 4 minutes for 1500 before. It was like 4:01, 4:02. Gun goes, run the first 300, get around to the finish line, look at the clock's not working. And I'm like, oh shit. Because so many of my 1500 meter races, you're constantly like clock watching going, have I gone too fast? Am I going too slow? But for me, it then just turned into, this is a heat of the state championships. I'm just racing it. Across the line, had no idea what I ran. Coach comes down and says, I said to him, oh, what I run? He goes, 3:53. And I'm just like, shit. So like combination of actually like training properly for a period of time, but also just racing and running to effort and not worrying so much about splits. And it sort of stayed with me a little bit. Like even on the weekend, like, I looked down at my watch after a K and a half and I don't really like what I'm seeing, but I don't get hung up on it. I just go, I'm just going to run to what effort I think it should be, and I come good after 5K and still run like a pretty decent negative split. So I think there's something in that. Well, obviously training properly, but also not putting limitations on yourself because of what the watch says in a race.
Mentality as well
Good
as
one.
fitness.
Yeah.
That's in that, I think it's How Bad Do You Want It?
Oh, yeah.
That
Good
book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it that book when something happens with
It
the
was.
clock and then he doesn't know and it tricks the mind, and it was a similar story.
Something in it though, I reckon. So many people get so caught up, put limitations on themselves. Yeah.
For sure.
Good one. That listener question was brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration. Use the code IRP2026 for 15% off your first order. What's coming up, boys? Boston Marathon. I'm on the aeroplane tomorrow. Next Monday, Izzy Bat Doyle's already over there. We've got Lisa Waitman also racing.
So are we not going to talk to you before the race?
No, this is it. And
gross.
you'll do next week's show without Boston happening.
Oh yeah.
Got a weather forecast yet?
It's not. I've looked a couple of times, but I'm not paying much attention. One of them had like 25k an hour tailwinds the whole way. I'm like, got to refresh that website. That's what we want to see. It's like a week away. It means nothing now. But yeah.
Over under Croaks?
Oh,
Boston.
Boston's really hard. Boston's really hard. There's so many more variables. Like weather's huge. Like if he has a 30-kilometer tailwind, like that changes the overs or unders.
Maybe we should redo this. Well, let's do it publicly on Instagram. I'll put a post up over under.
Well, we'll actually be recording before he races anyway. Perfect. Next week.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, then you'll have accurate weather.
But let's say there's no wind at all.
No wind or so you want to do an over under. We should
over
do an
under,
over
no wind.
Easy. I'm just there to experience a race.
I'm going to say 2:20, 2:30 over under.
I'd be stoked with that. 2:20, 2:30.
Would you?
Yeah.
You've been going pretty good though.
I'm going all right, but
it's downhill.
Hilly,
it's downhill.
But I don't run enough ups or downs. Like I haven't really done anything to prep my body for the course.
You don't.
This is a massive. You know, it's like Moose. It's like one, he doesn't climb many hills, but then also he's going to be going. He's going to be going down at the end of the race when he's already fatigued and like. So in a way, like, Brady's run a heap of marathons, but this is a completely new experience.
Yeah.
Which I think I need to and I want to respect it. So it's like, well, I don't mind running 2:24 and having an enjoyable race.
Yeah.
Then trying to run 2:22 and getting to the hills and being like, oh my God, I am cooked and this is going to be the hardest 10K of my life to finish off. But 2:22, 2:24 doesn't worry me.
But you don't want to. You mean you don't want to blow up? But if you
I want to run a beautiful race, as my friend Elliot Kipchoge would say.
Everyone wants to run a beautiful race.
And this is where, say my fitness is at 80%, I feel like I can make gains with like course knowledge, going out easy, getting my carb load right. Like all the other aspects of marathoning, I've been getting up, like I'm trying to do this jet lag thing where you get up. So I've been waking up at 4 a.m. and going to bed at 8 p.m. So trying to get, because it's a 16-hour time gap. So I read up on it, and it's like if you can get yourself 2 or 3 hours the right way before you go, it helps when you get there.
Apparently, there's a very good app to get you through jet lag.
Yeah, there is. I used it at Chicago, and it didn't work that well for me. So I've gone deeper. I've got the AI onto it.
I've also heard with Boston
individual plans.
I've also heard with Boston that a lot of people go wrong in that. How long's the initial downhill?
Oh, it's like the first 5K is pretty downhill.
Yeah, and I reckon a lot of people ruin their run by bombing that 5K, and that destroys their quads for the rest of the run.
Yeah,
your quads may not be destroyed at the end of that 5K downhill, but it comes back to bite you later on in the race because people have just been too aggressive in that downhill section.
Yeah. I saw something yesterday. I got it sent through to me, and it was like, this is talking in miles, like the first 4 miles are downhill, and you can pretty much like hit marathon pace easy, but don't get caught into trying to go quicker than marathon pace. And then they're like, the next seven miles is pretty flat, so you can kind of lock into marathon pace. And then it's like 1 mile downhill, then 3 mile flat, and then it's 1 mile downhill before you hit 5 miles of uphills, and then 5 miles of downhills to get home. So it's going to be like, they were try to break it up like that. So say I want to run 3:22 pace, like I should be able to get that first 5K for free running 3:22 pace.
Yeah, you'll have the brakes on.
But I shouldn't get caught up and run 3:12 pace.
Yeah.
Which is easier said than done.
Plus, if you're doing that, so like going 3:22s downhill, as you say, you get it for free, which then basically turns it into a 37K race because you're running goal marathon pace, but you've done basically nothing to do it.
And I've got to remember why I'm going. Like, I'm going to experience the Boston Marathon. So, like, I don't want to have like Sydney Marathon kind of fun when I run 2:30 and like just stopping for photos and kissing babies and stuff. But I want to be able to think for the last 10K, not be in the pain cave.
Well, good luck, mate.
What about Izzy? Give us some, who you got, Izzy or Lisa?
Oh, I think Izzy.
Take Izzy now. Yep.
I watched her YouTube video the other day. She did like a big 40K long run, downhill, then uphill. She's over there already. So, yep. We need to find a replacement then next week, boys.
Let's do that.
See what we can do.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. See us on the other side of it.
All right. Good luck.
Thanks, boys. Same to you. Enjoy your time down the coast, Croaks.
Will do.
Yeah, see you.
And I'm gonna hold my head up high. I was told as a young man, doesn't matter if you're white or black. Just show love to everyone you meet. Doesn't matter if it don't come back.